All right, so before we get started with our formal comments and greetings, I would like to first start with some acknowledgements. First, I would like to acknowledge and recognize the indigenous lands in which we are all occupying in this moment, both here in New York and also globally around the world. I would like to also acknowledge the labor and the work and the intellectual contributions of those who continue to be excluded or unrecognized in public settings across our institution and across higher education and all of our fields and sectors. So we can start with Black and Indigenous people of color. We can think about women, think about our LGBTQ plus communities, those with disabilities, those who have been those who have been displaced, and those who continue to not be represented in all facets of society. I would also like to acknowledge the many ongoing ways in which that people experience marginalization and those that continue to have to push against the norm to make their voices heard and their experiences acknowledged. And finally, everyone who's made this event possible today, the labor of those who often go unseen behind the scenes, thank you for all of your contributions to making this event possible, and also to our ancestors who have made the pathway for all of us to be here today. Thank you. I just want to take a moment of silence as we collectively bring our energy and our attention into the space today. Thank you. So NYU and the Office of Global Inclusion, we're all delighted to be in partnership with ARC and to bring you the Diversity and Inclusion Research Conference back to NYU in person. We're very excited about this. Last year we were in a virtual space, right? And so it's just so exciting to be able to be back here together in community to really explore topics that are deeply important to our work here at NYU, across our presidential office, our provost office, and of course, including all of our schools and also, of course, all of our academic units across the university. What we know is that diversity enhances excellence and innovation, including diverse individuals who are also different thinkers because of their lived experiences, which can increase the breadth and depth of how we research, what we research, and why we research. And it also helps us to reimagine possibilities, to see new possibilities into the future, and to reimagine ways in which that we solve problems facing all of us across our global realities. As many of you may know, a key pillar to our work in the Office of Global Inclusion is that it's informed by and grounded in research and scholarship. We believe as an academic institution, we must use research as a catalyst to create more inclusive learning and workplace environments. DIRC is an opportunity for us to explore critical topics in this space and to imagine how we can work across disciplines and across sectors to advance diversity, equity, inclusion, access, and belonging. And all the research that we do, and who we research, and again, why we research. So today is an important opportunity for us to join together to collectively to imagine, to think, to explore, to engage across identities and ideas. I am personally excited to learn from all of you, from all of our speakers today. Thank you for saying yes, including our NYU faculty, my colleagues, our students that will be joining us from NYU Tandon, and our leaders in the field. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as well to all of our OGI colleagues that have participated and supported today behind the scenes in the planning. Luis, who's behind the scenes on camera, who's made all of this possible through all of the deep support he's provided to us to make today special. And then also, of course, to all of our tech team, thank you for your contributions. To our dining services team, thank you as well, because we usually wait to the end to do these things, and I just wanted to privilege these people in the beginning. And then finally, to everyone who's joining us virtually, hello y'all, welcome. Great to have you in the virtual space. And without any further ado, as a way to start today's event, our leader in OGI, Dr. Lisa Coleman, who couldn't be with us today because she's off doing the other good work in DC, she would like to bring you greetings via video that she's prepared for all of us today. So we'll start with Dr. Lisa Coleman, our Senior Vice President.
Greetings, everyone. It's a pleasure to have you all here today. I'm Dr. Lisa Coleman, and I use she and her pronouns. I am the Senior Vice President for Global Inclusion and Strategic Innovation at New York University. Thank you for attending today's 5th Annual Diversity and Inclusion Research Conference, hosted by the Office of Global Inclusion and Aleria Research Corporation. I lament the fact that I'm unable to attend in person, but I wanted to take a brief moment to welcome you all and to acknowledge a few important people. First, thank you to all of our speakers. We have a number of just terrific speakers from NYU, including staff and faculty members who are deeply involved in utilizing research and data in their efforts to advance global diversity, inclusion, belonging, equity, and access here at the university. They are joined by stellar speakers from outside of NYU who are involved in similar work in their organizations across the globe and are making an impact also here in New York City and, of course, beyond. And we wouldn't have a conference without all of you and without your participation. So again, thank you. Next, I'd like to thank our hosts and conveners and the people sort of behind the scenes. Thank you to everyone who's been working behind the scenes to make this happen. Of course, we couldn't do this without you as well. I'd also like to thank Monroe, France, and Paolo for bringing this conference forward. We appreciate your commitment and all the time and effort that you've dedicated to planning and developing this event. Your expertise in innovation and areas related to, of course, research and, of course, global inclusion, diversity, equity, access, belonging are critical to contributing to this advancement of the field and, of course, to our research efforts. Additionally, I would like to thank the staff from the Aleria Research Corporation, as well as from my office in the Office of Global Inclusion for all of their hard work and support behind the scenes. I'd also like to give a special shout out to the Office of the Provost for their partnership. Just for a few moments, I'd like to also just discuss the importance of using research and data as a catalyst for advancing global inclusion, diversity, belonging, equity, and access. Our work here at NYU is very much informed by data, and we continue to use research across our work, whether that's looking at the areas of sustainability or areas of women's leadership, or the important areas of student leadership. We can include, right, and build upon the relevant data. So whether that's advancing best practices, really thinking about the future of higher education and the future of work, or the production of new knowledge. And of course, we know this marriage of innovation, inclusion, diversity, equity, access, and belonging, of course, is crucial. So in thinking about those 3 critical areas, we continue to really look at this important research that helps us to galvanize and to bring people together, of course, to advance this work. In closing, let me reiterate the importance of the work, not only to the Office of Global Inclusion, but to NYU and across the field of higher education. And of course, in our global work as we continue to bring our global network and partners together. Research and data are foundational to this work. Thank you again for joining us today, and please enjoy the conference. And again, I'm sorry I can't be there with you in person, but I look forward to really linking up with you all on LinkedIn and of course to other opportunities to meet in person. Thank you again. Be well.
Thank you, Lisa. Great to have you join us virtually via video. I'm going to now turn it over to Barlow, who's going to bring you also greetings from Aleria and ARC. And just say thank you, Paolo, again to you for your partnership over the years. And really, we've developed a really great friendship in this work as well. And so whoever said that research and diversity can't be fun is in the wrong field. So I'm looking forward to today's conversation. Turn it over to my colleague, Paolo.
So it's a real pleasure to be here and so meaningful because this started as an event in 2018. And history for me is a little bit older. I started in 2015. I started to work in the space. I had a vision to bring some of my background in research into this space. And I had the amazing fortune of meeting Dr. Gilda Berabino, who at the time was the Dean of Engineering at the City College of New York. And for those of you that don't know her, she's one of the most amazing people that I know. She's now president of Olin College of Engineering. And as a Black woman in engineering, she has achieved heights that virtually nobody else that I know has achieved. And to have done so as a Black woman is incredible. And I had the fortune of meeting her when I was an adjunct at City College, and we really hit it off and started a very small research group called the Quantitative Studies of Diversity and Inclusion, secured some funding. In fact, what I consider now a dear friend, Dr. Faye Cobb-Payton, who will be speaking a little bit later, was one of our supporters. And we felt we were onto something really amazing. And we thought to ourselves, oh, let's find out who else is doing research of this type in diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we realized that there were no organizations, no events, no annual gatherings where this was really the focus. And we thought, well, why don't we do something around CUNY and let's see if we can get a few people together. And before you know it, in 2018, we had about 100 people that showed up. And we thought it was very impressive. And thus DIRC was born. And we thought, well, let's do this again next year. And this is now the 5th year that we're doing it. And as Monroe said, last year and the year before, because of COVID, we had to do it virtually. And it was very successful. But there's nothing more fun than being back in person. And the other thing that's fun is that I'm seeing some faces here that I recognize, like Anne-Marie back there and some other people that I've never met before in real life. And it's really kind of interesting to go from that Zoom to in real life. So I cannot tell you just what an honor it is to be here. The Office of Global Inclusion with Lisa and Monroe and Karen have been absolutely fantastic supporters and partners. And of course the staff like Luis and Nathan over there, who has been just completely unflappable, dealing with all kinds of technical issues and doing so very gracefully and very efficiently. So I just want to express my gratitude to those of you that are here in person. I know there's going to be people coming in and out for the rest of the day. I will be speaking about some of my own work a little bit later during the day, but what I would like to do right now is I would like to invite Dr. Stacy Grossman-Bloom to come up. She's the moderator for a panel that's going to talk about really that intersection between research and DEIB.